A new update has arrived to GTA Online this week, which has brought about a ton of game changes along with a ton of great discounts as well. And so today on the show, we will be breaking down these discounts, and I'll be giving you guys a review and a breakdown of some of the best purchases that you can acquire this week in GTA. This video is all about what to buy and also about what to avoid buying this week. And with over 14 fantastic discounts, there's a lot to go over, so let's get started. If you enjoyed this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you want to stay up to date with everything GTA Online and Rockstar games, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. So jumping in, we always start these buyer's guides with the major property discount for the week, and this week it's 40% off all facilities, facility modifications and renovations, plus facility upgrades. Now, it may not be the first property on a player's list to purchase, but the facility should be on there because eventually you will want to access a property like this. The main reason to get the facility in GTA is so you can access the Doomsday Heist. This is a bizarre heist where players save the world, and it can be fun for some players while also being very profitable. Now, if other jobs like the Cayo Perico heist are on cooldown, then it's good to have a backup moneymaker. And this week with the Doomsday Heist bonuses, now is a good time to get this property. But the other really good reason to buy a facility this week is because of all the vehicles associated with this property, where some of those are exclusive to the facility and they can only be stored inside of it. Now, if you don't own one, then you're probably wondering about all these Doomsday Heist and facility vehicles, and that's what we're going to be talking about next, because almost all of the Doomsday Heist vehicles from that DLC are on discount this week. So when it comes to those vehicle discounts, we have a ton. Starting off, let's talk about 35% off the Ocelot Pariah. Performance-wise, the Pariah is in a league of its own. It excels in the sports class and would be even competitive in the supers class, as this vehicle has supercar levels of engine power, giving it an unusually high top speed. It's also the fastest non-HSW vehicle in GTA, and it has insanely fast acceleration. Its sheer power output also brings about a lot of wheel spin though off the line and around corners, so it requires a bit more throttle control than most other sports cars you could drive. The handling on the Pariah is decent, although traction loss is often experienced when you go over bumps and corners, and it also has a tendency to have a minor body roll issue due to its light weight. Moving on, 30% off the overflawed Autarch. Predictably, the Autarch is a highly competitive hypercar. Although not as fast as other supercars such as the Wagner or the RE7B and the XA21 around the track, its traction is one of the best in the game, possessing outstanding cornering capability, and as with many vehicles in the game, the Autarch supports insane downforce, but it has been cranked up to a level where steering will become relatively sluggish in normal driving around the track, which could result in spinouts under certain circumstances. For number 3, we have 35% off the Ubermacht SC1. Stats-wise, this car's overall performance is honestly terrible when compared to most other supercars. While it does feature a decent top speed overall and decent acceleration, the SC1 is still the second slowest supercar in the game, and the vehicle's rear bias weight and drivetrain may cause it to feel really sluggish around corners, even if it doesn't lose much traction, and the massive loss of speed means this is anything but competitive in the supercar class. After that, we have 30% off the Canis Camacho. The Camacho is an adept off-road vehicle with high torque and ground clearance, giving it immense capability on off-road trails. It is capable of tackling even the roughest terrain in the game, and the durability is good, and it can be even further improved with the addition of the bull bar customization. The Camacho also has a great top speed and acceleration compared to off-road vehicles like the Riata or even the Dubsta 6x6, as well as good handling with no signs of fishtailing. Its steering is relatively heavy though due to its weight and length, though it can still manage turns pretty easily in my opinion. For number 5, 35% off the Ubermacht Sentinel Classic. Despite the Sentinel's stats, it does perform better than it's advertised in game. Acceleration is unbelievably quick despite those stats, which are telling a different story in game, and the brakes are really strong, but they do lose their effectiveness at higher speeds. The Sentinel also shares some handling traits with the Futo, such as the light back end that makes it prone to oversteer, and you'll find that when you drive it. Fitting the Sentinel Classic with off-road tires though gives it performance benefits when driving around a dirt road, making it a potential vehicle for off-road races. For number 6, 30% off the Grotti GT500. This car performs relatively similar to other sports classics cars, all with nimble handling and a soft suspension, and it even holds a very high top speed owing to its powerful engine and the nature of it being a touring car. For number 7, a Warstock vehicle, 35% off the Buckingham Akula. The Akula serves as a versatile transport helicopter with strong armor and superior maneuverability in the air, allowing it to evade threats such as homing rockets, which can also be outrun by the Akula's very high top speed. And with maximum armor upgrades, this helicopter will take 18 heavy sniper rounds before exploding, and it can even withstand 5 explosive rounds from the Heavy Sniper Mark II. The most notable feature of this vehicle is the stealth mode, which allows the entire crew to navigate around the map without being spotted by enemy radars and minimap, making it useful for surprise attacks and getaways. The downside though is the Akula's weapons are disabled for the pilot and also the co-pilot while they are in stealth mode. You can equip machine guns, dual MGs, barrage and homing missiles, and even all sorts of cluster bombs with this heli. For number 8, 25% off the TM02 Khanjali. In stock form, it moves really slow like the Rhino tank, but it seems to have a slightly faster speed than it. It has great off-road capabilities due to its traction and appears to be slightly more nimble than the Rhino in terms of quick turns. Performance upgrades on the Khanjali can also improve the overall handling of this tank, as it can accelerate much faster than the Rhino in that situation, and armor upgrades can prove to be extremely beneficial for the vehicle, allowing it to survive nearly twice the amount of explosives than the Rhino as well. And you can equip all sorts of weapons on the Khanjali as well, like the tank cannons, railgun cannons, machine guns, and a grenade launcher. After that, for number 9, 35% off the Lampadati Viserys. Performance-wise, the Viserys has below average performance in comparison to most other cars of its class. This car has mediocre traction, which gives it a tendency of spinning out around corners, and it has a decent top speed, albeit inferior to most vehicles. However, when fully upgraded, its top speed exceeds some of the higher end supercars in the game. For number 10, we have 35% off the HVY Barrage. The Barrage has a great top speed and acceleration thanks to its lightweight design and the all-wheel drivetrain. The off-road wheels and the high suspension allow it to cross terrain and small obstacles with no trouble at all, and even with no engine upgrades, this vehicle performs exceptionally well, but it does tend to bottom out on rough landings after jumps and lose speed or control, so caution should be taken with those jumps. For a lightweight ATV though, the Barrage is surprisingly strong, requiring 5 rockets from a rocket launcher and about 12 missiles from a homing launcher, or 12 shots from a Heavy Sniper Mark II with explosive rounds to actually get blown up. At number 11, 30% off the Albany Hermes. The Hermes is a very stable vehicle and it's a comfy ride thanks to the air ride suspension that it has, but because of the length and the shape of the Hermes, it does struggle to make quick maneuvers around corners. And overall, I feel like this vehicle is very similar to one of the sportier vehicles in LA Noire in terms of its performance and its handling. Overall, it's just not really worth the money at all unless it's for collecting purposes, in my opinion. For number 12, we have 35% off the Vapid Hustler. Speed-wise, the Hustler can compete with other faster muscle cars in the game, such as the Dukes and its armored variant, but the braking is really poor, and while the traction is quote-unquote good, because this car stays planted to the road and the ground, it's not impressive because this car has such a terrible turning radius at no matter what speed, that any car that takes turns that wide would stay nice and firmly planted on the road as well. I just recommend you avoid this vehicle. For number 13, we have 25% off the Brute RCV. This vehicle is a glorified fire truck, plain and simple, just completely ignore it. And lastly, for number 14, 35% off the Volatile. This massive plane is faster than the Bombushka and the Titan, but it is still nothing to write home about, and I would also recommend that you don't waste your money on the Volatile. So with that said, when it comes to vehicles and properties to buy, I recommend that you get a lot of these, but there are some that I've recommended at the end here that you should just avoid buying because it's the truth. They're a lot of money, you don't get any benefit out of them, and so you should just stay away from them. With all that said though, we've reviewed every major discounted purchase in GTA Online this week. I'd love to know your thoughts on the property and the vehicle discounts. Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best GTA Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. You're more than welcome to ask me any questions on those platforms. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. That being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next GTA Online video. Adios, amigos.